am super excited for today's lesson because we're going to read weather maps. This is something that some of you in class might be interested in actually doing with your entire life. You might be interested in working for a weather news station, either tracking weather or looking at weather or being even on TV reporting the weather like a meteorologist does. And so we're going to actually read some weather maps today and kind of look at what we see and also look at what kind of weather is coming our way. And that's the reason we read weather maps. Weather maps show us where weather is going on, but obviously weather is always moving. Air is moving, water is moving. It doesn't just stand still. And so we need to look at those maps, and that will tell us what kind of weather is coming up. So I'm going to flip the screen, and I'm going to show you an example of a weather map and point out a few details, and then I'm going to have you do a practice assignment today where you're going to look at 10 weather maps and answer a question for each of those weather maps at home. So I'm going to flip the screen, and let's take a look at our first weather map together. Okay, so on the front of your screen, you can see a weather map. Now, when you look at this weather map, it's a little bit hard to read if you don't know what you're looking at. And so what you want to look for is the letters H and L, which I can see some H's here, and I can see a red L here. And then I want you to look for the different colors. So you see that the pink represents ice and snow, so very cold kind of weather. And then you can see all of the green represents light rain, and then heavy rain, and then anything in yellow represents fog. And I can see that up here. That's my key. That tells me what all the colors are. And then something else we just learned about this week is these lines. See the triangles going all the way down? That is a cold front. That means that is cold air that is moving. Now, which way is it moving? Is it moving backwards or is it moving to the right? Is it moving more downwards? Well, look at the triangles. The triangles are pointing in the direction that that air is moving. So cold air is moving this way, and a cold front is going to happen somewhere over here in the next day or two. And then you can see the red lines up here. These are showing us that a warm front is coming. And so these lines are moving upward and away. So when you look at a map, this map is from the Weather Channel. So this is a very professional map. If you get stuck on today's assignment because you don't know where certain places are, it's okay to ask a parent for help. Just remember, north is at the top, south is at the bottom, east is on the right, west is on the left. And so then we have all of the states. Well, we have 48 of the states. We're missing Alaska and Hawaii. So we have the United States here with Canada and Mexico on the top and the bottom. So we're going to make some noticings really quickly, and then I'm going to let you guys try it out today for our lesson. Here's the first noticing that I found. If you look down here at the bottom, I've noticed that a cold front is moving east. Okay, so I noticed that because of this really big, long line. This is a cold front. These triangles tell me that cold air is moving east to the right. Look at all of this green. That is so much rain. That is really heavy, severe thunderstorms. And we know that cold fronts bring really heavy, severe thunderstorms because warm air is getting pushed up really quickly and it creates those really big thunder clouds. So if the triangles are pointed to the east, that means that all of these states in the next couple of days are probably going to get that weather because weather is always moving. So I need to be watching out if I live in New York, up here, if I live in Florida or Georgia or Washington, D.C., I want to be looking out and getting my umbrella because in the next day or two, you're probably going to get some bad weather. Noticing number 2, the western states are experiencing happy and sunny weather, but they will be getting a cold front soon with rainy weather from the ocean. So these are my western states over here. These are where we think of really dry weather, some deserts, cowboys, all that kind of stuff is out west. So you've got Nevada and Wyoming, Nebraska, those really, really nice states that are nice and flat. You got lots of horses out there, some mountains, just really beautiful. It's a high pressure area. High pressure means happy weather. So there's no clouds, there's no rain going on, but if you look carefully, see this cold front right here? See how it's coming from the ocean and it's going to be cold because it's coming from the north where Alaska is? That is showing us that these triangles are pointing downward. So in a couple of days, this line of cold air is going to be moving this way and heading for those western states. So they're going to be getting some colder weather, maybe even some rainy thunderstorms in the next couple of days. Here's the third noticing I wanted you to see. The Midwest, which is where we live in Missouri, and the southern states are experiencing happy weather as well, but they will keep experiencing that weather for quite a while. So let's look at Missouri. Missouri has a little bit of bad weather going on, but remember that weather is moving east. It's moving away from us. So we're going to experience really nice weather for a couple of days because I don't see any other fronts coming in. This front is moving to the west. This front is moving to the north. We're going to keep that happy weather. And the same thing is true for down here in like Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. They are experiencing really happy, high pressure, really happy sunny weather. And there's this cold front down here, but it's moving south towards Mexico. So in the middle of the United States, they're going to be getting really, really nice weather, and they're probably going to keep that weather. So here's your assignment for today. I'll show you really quickly on the screen. You have 10 weather maps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What you're going to be doing with all of these weather maps is answering the question that follows. Now remember, all weather maps are different. Sometimes they're in color, like these are in color. Sometimes they're black and white. Sometimes they're from a website, so they're going to be printed kind of like a website. And so just know that it is okay to look and study the weather map before you answer the question. Kind of look at the map, look it over, look at the different colors. In this one, yellow means severe weather. That means really bad weather. Red means flash floods, which you probably have heard of before, where there's a lot of flooding going on. So all of these pictures of weather maps are going to look a little bit different. In this one's black and white. So how do we know which one is cold and which one is warm? Well, remember triangles and little half circles. The triangles are cold, and the half circles look like little half suns, and so they're going to be warm. So all of these pictures are going to be unique, and there's questions that go with each one. I want you to try this out at home. If you have trouble finding a certain place on the map, ask a parent, or if you're really having trouble, skip that one and maybe do half of the weather maps. But I'd like you to try to do all 10. The first one we did together. We just did number 1 together, and I put a few noticings down here so that you can see how I'm reading this weather map. You do not need to turn this in, but I would like you to complete it because next week we will be having a short practice quiz that I want you to be successful at. So go ahead and work through this and then go ahead and save it to your device so that you can use it for your notes when you take your practice quiz. If you have any questions, just send me an email with the picture and I can help you answer your question. I hope you guys enjoy reading weather maps today.